Oops, sorry. Was short there?
That's
all right. So let me bring up Dave's intro video.
All righty.
Just a second here. Hang tight, Dave. I got to go find the link. Oops, not going to let me do it that way. Hang on. I got to go get it. Do a little tap dance, you guys, while you wait. Yeah, that'll do it.
My crown.
There's the link. So this one I have to screen share. So let me just figure out how we're going to do that. And
okay.
Should be coming up in a sec. Great. It's a great time for a potty break if anybody needed one. So
yeah. And Candy Mullen, it just be in the chat and your name will be entered into the prizes when if you're here. Okay.
Okay, almost there. There we go, Dave Johnson. So, do you guys see it?
There he is.
I'm Dave Johnson from Moonride, and I am here to tell you what I do. I do some psychic work. I also work as a trance channel, and I also do past life regressions. That is, I facilitate this form of hypnosis. In psychic work, and most people know what that is, I just tell you what is going to happen and what's not going to happen to the best of my ability. Keep in mind, nothing is fixed and it can be changed. I'm a little bit more interested in channeling, and that's something that I'm focusing on right now. It's a bit broader. If I channel, and this is a trance channel, I go and meet a spirit that has information for you. It might tell you about the purpose of your life, past experiences and their meeting. There might be some mediumship involved. Some people passed away may show up and also speak to you to resolve issues. This is all done in trance channeling and more. The third thing is past life regression / quantum healing. This is a form of hypnosis where I put you in a hypnotized state and you are the one who does the speaking. You will go back to past lives and resolve lots of issues involved in those past lives because some of that information or trauma is transported from one life to the next and does affect you in this life. I have also noted that people get great relief, first of all, from psychological problems, but sometimes also from physical problems. Most of the time, people with physical issues find great relief in the past life regression work. Again, this can be termed quantum healing. I have some experience in both. The thing about the past life regression that people find incredibly valuable is not just the physical and psychological relief that they experience. It is like a reset. After that, their life becomes completely different and better. It has been described by some people as like a religious experience. It really does change people's lives. Thanks so much.
And thank you, Dave. That was awesome. So I'm just going to update the tally really quick because people are asking about that. Here you go, everybody. We're a little over 4,000 now. And
yay! Fabulous.
Dave.
Yeah.
Welcome, Dave. It's so funny to see you in daylight.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've gone from my backyard to my room here. I love working in the backyard, but you know, crazy things happen when you're working in the yard.
Yeah, right. You look so tan and fit. It's awesome.
Yeah. I've been watching you guys on today. You guys are doing so great. Congratulations on the $4,194.72 you've raised.
There you go.
And growing.
Well
So
done.
I'm going to pop out and let you and Aley talk, and I'll be back in a little bit. We have got some more videos coming up for you. We have got, let's see, what do we have? We have another president, another founding father coming up, and we'll have some more music. So you guys have fun, and I'll be back later.
All right. Okay,
thank you, Debbra. Thanks, Debbra. Great to meet you.
Hi, Dave. Nice to meet you too. It's wonderful to share space with you. Yeah. So I think you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Am I right?
I sure am. Yeah, very southern tip of Australia in a place called Adelaide. Sometimes when people get my message, Adelaide, Australia, people get my message. They're like, "Who's Adelaide? I'm not Adelaide." They just think that it's the town is them. No, it's not them. Here I am in the southern.
But you're not Aussie. But you're not Aussie.
I'm not
Aussie.
Aussie.
You're not an Aussie. No.
Another mistake
No,
to make is I
Okay.
suppose that I'm Australian. I'm not. I moved here just before a certain person became president. Right. So
Well,
I made
aren't
my
you
escape.
lucky?
I made my
You
escape
did.
just in time. I've been feathering a lot of bunk beds just in case people have to come and
Sure.
visit. But
Well, bookmark one for me just in case, because that would be a nice place to go.
I think there's I'm intuiting a lot of friction around the election, but I'm not intuiting that a certain person's going to win.
No, I agree.
I do feel better, but I still want to encourage people to donate. We also have to win by big this time. That is the non-Trumpians. We got to really take it to town because they're going to fiddle with the numbers if at all possible.
They will. You're absolutely right. But I do feel very comfortable with the idea that as long as we do our diligence, we'll be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way too. And I feel that way more so than I have in a long time. So
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's a question for us. Is that from Lori?
Yeah, it would be from someone in the chat. And so, will the new administration make mainstream media act more honest by making them take a back seat? Ooh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. I just as an American and interested in democracy, I've always wondered, free speech, is there a limit? And I think for a long time, we didn't have to think about that limit. For a long time, people basically knew the difference between truth and falsehood. But this, the internet, all these things, certain news stations really have pushed the edge on what's free speech. Can a certain network do free speech to the point where you call a revolution? Is that still free speech? Some of that speech is from a foreign power, and they get away with it. It's a really good question. So let me take a look. And the question is about,
great question. Sure.
Will mainstream media be made to be more honest? That's what I'm hoping, but let's see. So interesting. Kamala Harris, I'm seeing, is dividing, kind of creating a line. And so I think that that's what's needed. We need to say, where is the limit to free speech, right? I mean, you can't show anything on the net, right? So, so I see her, and there's like two lines, and they're kind of being negotiated. There's going to be a lot of friction around this, and I think those lines are moving back and forth. Now, it is fair to say, she has to work with the opposition. It can't just be this dictatorship where we say, this is the limit. She has to be somewhat judicious about this. I see her pushing, I see them pushing back. But she kind of gives me a mild smile. Something has been accomplished. Maybe not everything we'd like, but something has been accomplished. Yeah. It's interesting because I don't think she wears glasses, but I actually see her taking her glasses off. Again, I don't think she wears them. But it's almost like, let's get a closer view. Or let's look. Let's look in a different way. I think this has come a time where we have to really think carefully about what free speech really means.
Absolutely. And we were talking about the Fairness Act in the last hour, and how Reagan was the one that went in and dumped that sucker. We need that back. If we can get if we can get a Congress that's Democratic and a Senate that's Democratic, that's going to help an awful lot. So we have to really vote blue all the way down. But I do get thorns. I get thorns here. I'm getting that it's hard. And the problem is that she's got so much to clean up, just like Joe does or did in his administration. He did a beautiful job. But, there's so much more that needs to be done. But I'm also getting a love offer. So I think she's going to try to do what she can to bring equity back into us. And she will create a major milestone in some way in the policies that she's got. But like you said, she's not the dictator. She can't run roughshod over everything. But I agree with you, Dave. Yeah, that's what it seems like as well.
The number 67 senators we need to impeach a Supreme Court justice. Right. So however we get
we need to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Do you see us getting rid of them, Dave? Have you seen us getting rid of these yo-yos?
Good question.
So
let's, go ahead and maybe fill a card on that. I get some of them.
Okay.
It might be 3. It might be 2 or 3.
Yep.
I could see where we're going with this. if she can just, if the Democrats can go and get rid of people, then it might set a preference where Republicans just might go and get rid of people. And I hate that argument. It's almost like, an argument between, truth and not truth. But at the same time, there are things that need to be negotiated. And I think it feels that way. It feels a little bit like it'll be a negotiation. And I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3. What do you get from that?
I kind of feel the same way. I believe Jordan is going to be in that mix, and because he had a lot of dirty fingers in a lot of things. Matt Gaetz, but he may be leaving for another reason. And I don't think Josh Hawley's going to get back in. Josh Hawley's probably not going to get his position back in Missouri as a senator. That's what I've heard
other readers say that. Yeah, I've heard Hawley's in trouble. Other readers have said
he's
that.
in trouble.
Such a good thing.
Yep. It is. Yeah. Thanks, Lori, for the question. Thank you. Right.
Ooh, good question. Okay, and it's from Melissa Johnston. Oh, how do you know? I am also a Johnston, only over 400 years. They took the T out. So maybe Melissa and I are related. A companion who's now 80. Now, usually I like to know who that person is, but you don't have to tell me the name this time around. We'll just key into the list. Well, I get a pretty happy partner, and knowing I get a partner who knows that she's loved, right? And I gotta tell you, I don't care what physical or psychological, whatever problem you have. If you feel that you are loved, you are generally speaking going to be a happy person. I don't care what situation you are in. I spoke to a woman you can watch on my other channel who I past life regressed. It turns out she was involved with Jesus in his life. And, she told me her life was, financially not easy. Many of her friends were gone. She was the most excited and happy and generous and kind person. She just had an air of feeling love. And that's, let's face it, it's very easy to react to our partners. It's very easy to react with our egos, giving it a moment and going, where is this person now? I don't think that... Melissa, I don't think that you're, first of all, you're not a man. Okay, so it's not all bouncing off your ego all the time. Maybe just sometimes. You're probably better at me than stopping and going, what do you think?
The magical age of 80 here, it comes up for me because I had a brother, he passed in his 70s, but he would be about 80 to 81 years old right now. And what I want to say is, rock and roll never dies. Support your companion in lots of fun ways. I mean, what do they like to do? Nothing changes up here, no matter how old we are. It can change physically. It can change in other ways. And of course, we may have dementia or we may have an issue. But really, most of us don't feel the age that we are. And so by supporting your companion, don't think about how old they are. But I realize why you're asking, and telling us how old they are. But staying young really, really is something that all of us can do. And it's so much easier to do than we think. And I get here past memories. If there's old movies you like, if there's old music you like, if there's something like, what did you, having conversations about loved ones that or memories that you had, I think that keeps us young. And so that's
absolutely. And keep traveling if you can. Because I just traveled. My mom just met me in Hungary, 86, and she just traveled along. Hungary can be challenging.
Yes, it can. That's wonderful, though. That's wonderful.
From city to city, challenging city to challenging city.
That's right.
Remember, always travel and keep it young.
Always, if you can. Yeah. Yep. All right. Vote blue. Yay. All right. Let's see what these guides want to tell you.
Messages from her guide. Okay, so we don't know what it is, but we're just going to intuit who that is. What's her message? Okay, let me see what I've got. Unless you want to go first.
No, Dave, you can do it. That's fine. I haven't decided what cards to pull yet.
Okay, good. So let's talk about your guides. Well, it's a really beautiful image I'm getting of a guide who takes a sword and they just hold it like this right in the middle. And it's just this kind of, be true, just be true. Don't let others take you off your path. That is, you can listen to other people and their suggestions and take them for what they're worth and consider them, but don't let them push you off that sort of inner knowing feeling. And I would say that the best thing to do is get us familiar with that inner knowing feeling. We all know that. You go to a party and somebody's kind of creeping you out. I don't like that guy. I don't want to go get yourself a drink, and you just say it, right? Cultivate that knowledge because you don't have to be unkind, but just say, "Oh, I'm going to go get myself another drink." It's a little bit like that. I see this guide, very serious guide, and it's just like acknowledge what you know and your life experience, and see that that's real, and be true to it. Be true to yourself.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful, beautiful wisdom. I have here to act with clarity, focus your intentions, navigate your decisions with clear insight, and that you should trust your inner compass to illuminate yourself anytime. Always trust yourself more than someone else. You know more about who you are than anybody else does, even your guides. And then it says to immerse. I love this. It's almost like immerse yourself in wisdom, knowing that you are the divine. Your guides are with you to help you, but you're the divine one. You're the one who knows what you came here for. And you can ask them for help, but you are the ultimate decision maker.
Great.
Beautiful.
It's great. Always great, Aley, when the when what we see totally links up perfectly. It's always
it really is. It really is.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Oh, Barb.
Okay. Right. Do you want to go first or should I?
Yeah, I'll just say if you're an old soul, you've been around the block a few times. It means you probably lived a lot of lives. You may have lived on other planets. You may have lived in a lot of situations. But you know what? You can be an old soul and be 10 years old or 3 or 80. It doesn't matter, because being an old soul has more to do with the fact that you have the wisdom that you need, and you've gleaned it over your lifetimes and through all the lessons that you've learned. So congratulations, Barb.
Yeah. And an old soul thing is an interesting way. There's so many ways to look at this. I was told I knew nothing about spirituality, nothing. And I mean a big fat zero. I grew up in a totally agnostic family. It was very rational. Totally rational. I rarely, I think I entered a church once or something as a child. But a woman said to me when I was 17 years old, when I was in kind of a difficult place, I just went to a restaurant, and the person working there looked at me and she said, "You have an old soul." And I was like, what on earth is this person talking about? But when she said it, I knew, I just, in my stomach, I knew what she was talking about. I can't explain how I knew that.
Yes.
I think when people are saying that, it's kind of like saying, work in the spiritual avenue will do you well, will serve you in this lifetime.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
However you choose to do it. That's what I think that it really means. It's like maybe a non-old soul will be like, I'm going to make lots of money in this lifetime. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe a non-old soul would say, I really want to be doing lots of sports. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But old soul,
Nothing
it kind of means, take a look at this aspect of your life. It's something that you will really enjoy and gain a lot out of. I kind of think everybody's an old soul. It just might be, you were a rock for, 200 lifetimes, and then you were a tree for 5 lifetimes, and then you were an alien for 20 lifetimes. So it's kind of like, where does old begin? I think some people get to this planet and they're like, oh my God, what am I doing here?
What did I do? I made a mistake. Yeah.
Like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't my soul family. But
I remember being told that I was I knew everything I needed to do, but if I didn't use it in this lifetime, I was going to lose it. And I thought, OMG, I can't do that. I better, time's running out. That's right.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. Oh, Linda.
I'm not going to make it. What is RA?
Oh,
do you know?
Sweet home. Rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah.
Okay. So, Linda, let's see. My husband's terminal cancer. Okay. Let's check it out. Okay, so it's a little tricky here because Spirit will not tell me. I've asked Spirit not tell me when someone will pass from this lifetime.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
of all, Linda, we would both just want to send you our love right now. I'm gonna ask like everybody watching, like send some love to this person who really, really needs it. And I want you, Linda, just to accept it from where it's coming from the universe. You know, there is a cycle that we are all on. We have these ebbs and flows in our lifetimes, different things that we have to learn. I feel like you are united in love with your husband, and that's the most important thing, right? The fact that you care enough about this person not to think of yourself first, it says a lot about how much you love that person. And I want you just to carry that as an important thing. It's really, really important that your partner knows that you love them, and vice versa, that you are loved by others. The most important thing for you to do right now is to rely on others whom you trust. Whoever you can talk to, fall back on, whoever will listen to you, cry and do your thing. This will be very useful for you. You can't carry all this weight. I would also say, don't hesitate to ask Spirit for help. And prayer can take the form of, I'd like things to work out this way, please. Right? And it's more like seeing it work out well and seeing it work out for the best for everyone. And if you picture that in the morning, I think it will relieve a lot of stress and will more likely make it work out. It will work out. However the universe has decided, it will work out in its highest good. The only question is relieving your anxiety up until that point. It really helps if you trust in the universe by connecting to that when you get up in the morning and just positing, this is the peaceful way that I'd like things to work out, and see it as unfolding in that way. So that will help you during the day and more likely ensure an easier process. Again, the outcome's going to be fine. We all go to the universe, all of us. No one stops. No one's judged. No one is. We all go there, and you will go there. We will change. We will change forms, but we're still there.
Yeah. My mother went through the same thing. My father was very ill, and she dropped dead of a heart attack. And but everything was okay. It was like there were others to pick it up. And actually, my dad was able to take care of what he needed to take care of. That doesn't mean that that's going to happen to you, Linda. I agree with Dave. I agree. The most beneficial outcome for the both of you will occur because the universe takes care of us. And anytime you're feeling despondent, call in Archangel Raphael to help you. Speak it, say it. Call him in and ask him to help you, because this is a lot on you. If you've got RA and taking care of your husband, that's way too much for you. I have here to take great care is the message. Nurture yourself, prioritize well-being, and tread gently on your own journey, and all will be okay.
Yeah.
Much love to you, Linda.
Take time to accept the love from us, and take time to accept the love from the universe.
And yourself. Give yourself the love you need. Absolutely. Yeah.
Ooh, good question. Right. Struggling teacher. Oh my God. You're right in the middle of it. Like, wow. Okay. Well, as a former teacher, let me say, superheroes, you guys are the the bodhisattvas among us. Are
the bodhisattvas, yes,
absolutely. Doing that work, I know you're not well rewarded. So I would say one thing, all of this fascism, sort of rise in fascism, how is it benefiting us in some ways? Well, it is making us see things the way they are. It's making us see school teachers and consider what they do. So do take from this what is beneficial. That is, maybe you're stronger. Maybe you're more able to speak to some skeptical parents. Maybe you're more able to say, I'm not going to change those minds. Maybe I can change these. Don't forget to go to this issue and see. Don't forget to look at America and say, how is this benefiting it? I mean, there's always been these sort of people there that would put their religious beliefs above others. Always that has existed. It's just now that we're being exposed to that. Is that a bad thing? Well, maybe
Yeah.
it's good. But
Yeah.
I always like to bring it down to the personal. We can change us. You can't
Yeah.
change the world, but we can change ourselves. So let's milk this for all it's worth and get as much out of it. But let's take a look
Absolutely.
at the actual thing about the Christian nationalism. It's all creepy too. I see that Charlie Kirk creep. He's just grossing me out. And I think
Absolutely.
I don't think it's bad to look at these people and see the power structure that they are. Like, who is Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk's, as I'm seeing it, he's just somebody. He's that jerk in high school who will get what he can, And if he's president of the school, he'll get what he can out of it. But you know what? Just like the class president, they don't have all power over us. And eventually people, it's like, oh, that's what the president looks like. When I get to college, I'm not voting for him. So I think there's just, he's some sense showing his limitations. I have to tell you, it seems like such a small minority of people limiting these books. They're the loudest. And I'm seeing you in class having to deal with it. Look, I imagine I don't know if they still have this. This is popular. I'm seeing that teacher meets the parents day. There's a classroom of parents, and there's that one screaming gender studies person. And although there's 30 other parents, and they pretty much think this guy's crazy, no one's saying anything. So notice that most of the people are on your side, or at the very least, not on that side. So the question is almost like it's very confusion. How do I stay calm? But keep in mind, all of those people are actually kind of looking at you as the leader. You're the expert here. And I hope you will feel that expertise in yourself and then use that expertise to go, well, sometimes I have wacky students in class. How do I deal with the wacky adult? And there are a lot of ways that you speak to that person. So this is coming up. I do see Kamala's and a lot of light. And she just tells me, look, this is a passing issue. It just, it's kind of like they really worked the wall thing for a while. And then now it's now like, they're not talking about the wall anymore since, of course, it was ridiculous. And then they moved on to, a new set of people. And now they're moving on to teachers. It's just a fashion of the day for them. It's just to find something, but it doesn't land. It doesn't stick for a long period of time. The books will come back. If anything, these people have highlighted all the books that they don't want the students to read, which they're now going to read. So, but I emphasize with you to see how this is, the difficulty is with you going, you want to just smack them like, hey, you ever hear of free speech? But, we do have to kind of hold these things in ourselves. This is going to pass. Kalama Harris is just like, she's showing me a pinky. It seems just like almost like a small thing. Keep in mind also that it's not, Kamala can't make a decision for everyone. It's up to those school districts. So a few school districts maybe like, but just show up the way she does and engage. But I think that it will pass fairly quickly. Once the Kamala gets rolling, they're going to have so many other things to scream about, like fair taxation. That's going to be their priority. They're not going to care as much. Also, it's not a winning issue anymore. It'll be done.
Yeah. It's just to instill as much fear as possible into all of us. It's let's pick up, what do we got? Like Dave says, what's the boogeyman this time?
Right.
So I am a college professor who teaches high school running start students. So they're in 11th and 12th grade, and I cannot talk to their parents because if they're in my college classroom, they are considered adults and their parents have no rights because their parents have signed off those rights to let them be in my class. And so we really have a good time. And I can tell you this, there are some that are going to always be their parents' children, but there are some that will say, my dad was really pissed when you said something about this. And I said, oh, well. And she said, well, that's what I said. It's been quite an interesting journey for me. And I've been doing it for 25 years and it's just never ceases to amaze me. But yes, teachers are so wonderful. And I love being a teacher. I get the Buddha is going to counteract. And so what do I say about this? Remember a few years ago when they were trying to teach meditation to kids in order to calm them down in classrooms, and parents had their hands up. Oh my God, you're teaching them all about voodoo and witchery and all. No,
Right.
we're teaching them how to relax, how to live, how to be mindful, how to be kind. So while there might be a shield up, it's in the stars. It's all in the stars. And Dave's
Mhm.
right. This isn't going to last. And Kamal's like, don't worry about it. I got you covered. That's what I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just like the very first teacher well, my favorite teacher of all time was my 6th grade teacher. She was by far the
Cool.
first teacher to dispense with homophobia in the class. She did that so beautifully because, of course, the student came in with his homophobia, and it was a class that was integrated. She said, "Yeah, how would you feel if you were like that? Wasn't too bad." For me, as a gay 12-year-old, that changed my life. She still, I'm sure, I hope she's watching, has no idea how much she changed my life.
Of course.
I wrote her recently say so.
Of course.
You are making so much difference out there if you're a teacher. Students probably will never tell you, but then they'll get to college and they're like, "Oh my God, she was right."
Yeah. And that's exactly what Tim Walz was like. He was the one that stood up, and he was a coach of a sports team, and he was the faculty advisor for the LGBTQ club. How beautiful is that?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Hey there.
So you guys, that's a great segue to our Project 2025 message from Susan Brochin, a 34-year teacher, now retired, speaking to the topic of education.
Wonderful.
Yes, perfect for us, right? Here we go.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you so much for attending this very special event. A special thanks to my friend Debbra Lupien for all the hard work that she has put into this endeavor. So I had volunteered to discuss part of Project 2025. And my name is Susan Brochin, and I was a public school teacher for over 34 years. Even though I retired in 2014, my heart and admiration is and always will be for those who have dedicated their lives to working with students. When I first heard about Project 2025, I must say I was completely aghast. And at the same time, I was grateful for those that brought all of this to the attention of the collective. And we now know what is going on. What I hope to do today is to make us aware of the egregious and nefarious nature of the project should the other side win the election. I just wanted to give you a quote from, I believe it's Melanie Willingham Jaggers, and she says, Project 2025 exists outside the bounds of common decency and is a roadmap for an extremist refashioning of the United States. So when you think about that, education is such an important force in all of our lives. And let's look at it. Let's look at what dismantling the Department of Education actually could mean to us. Its statement of policy is wide-ranging and definitely forceful, as the effects would end federal interference in the practice of educating students. And of course, it could affect the teachers in a very strong way. Some of you might be aware of recent groups that have popped up, such as Moms for Liberty and the egregious efforts of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the removal of classic books from the curriculum. Without federal interference and assistance, some states, such as Florida and Louisiana, are examples of what could possibly happen when schools or the government open up to public opinion regarding curriculum. But pledging to unshackle states from federal interference or else nationalizing K-12, the push of red states, and so on, there have been expanding school choice options as well as parental rights laws. In the past few years, we have witnessed a diversity of opinions regarding the public school system, and many of them from people that don't know very much about it. So things like Moms for Liberty from, again, Ron DeSantis and the Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry has been widely publicized recently to display only the 10 commandments in every K-12 classroom. So that is dissipated, but it is important that we as a collective advocate for the best possible educational environments for all students. So now I'm going to head right into it. What is this? How will it affect us? Even how will it affect our standing in the world? So it recommends privatizing education and removing programs related to things like LGBTQ and diversity initiatives. So The Guardian reported at a Faith and Freedom Conference in June of this year that some of the publicly articulated plans include cutting federal funding for schools that are pushing critical race theory or gender ideology on our children, barring trans youth from sports leagues that correlate with their self-identification, creating a body that certifies teachers who, get this, embrace embrace patriotic values, rewarding districts that do away with teacher tenure, okay, adopting a parent's bill of rights, having parents directly elect school principals and school boards who then hire and supervise. Impact on student loans. If Project 2025 becomes a reality, it would phase out income-driven repayment programs, put colleges on the hook for unpaid student loans, and eliminate PLUS loans for graduate students and parents of undergrads. When you think about it, this could have a horrible effect on just the U.S.'s standing in the world if people who can't pay cannot attend. Okay, let's go to a couple more. K-12. In abolishing the Department of Education, Project 2025 aims to eliminate Title I, which is Every Student Succeeds Act. Its funding provides grants to schools with large populations of low-income students. The purpose of this funding is to reduce achievement gaps between higher income and lower income districts. They also propose a federal parents' bill of rights, which could potentially give parents stronger standing in court when the federal government enforces any policy against parents in a way that undermines their right and responsible to raise, educate, and care for their children as per the language. Now that's a really interesting one, because who's going to interpret that is the question. And then the last piece of this is this. Can this really happen? Well, potentially, yes. If one political party gains a majority in both houses of the House of Representatives and the Senate and the presidency, it could become a reality. Presidential executive orders could also be used to implement many aspects of the plan. Now, to me, this does not seem like a democracy at all. And it could have really strong effects, not only transforming higher education, but the entire US government years from now, when students who have gone through this are adults. The result could be an earthquake of seismic proportions, especially for education and beyond. So there you go. I think I made it short and sweet enough. Thanks for listening, everybody.
And that was our friend Susan
Wow.
Broden. So we have so many amazing people contributing to this event, you guys. It's just,
We do.
I don't know, my heart is overflowing. It's so wonderful. I'm going to jump out, give you
It's
guys
so
some
wonderful.
time to finish up.
Okay.
And then shortly before you end, we'll do our giveaway, because Aley will be leaving, Dave will be staying, and then I'll be joining you for a little while.
Good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Very cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, it's interesting. That's a great little speech there. Are we looking at Cat
Yeah,
Lady?
I know this. Yeah, we're looking at Cat Lady. There you go, Elisa. By the way, Dave, check the private chat before you leave this evening, because I put in my email. I'd love to collab with you. So
Oh, I'd
there
love
you
to.
go.
Yeah, let's talk.
Okay,
We'll definitely
great,
do that.
great.
That'd be fun.
All right,
I'm
sounds
I'm
great.
not really sure about this question. Are you 8 inside, 1 feral outside?
She has 8 cats inside and 1 feral cat that lives outside.
Okay. All right.
I don't think she wants that to be read, though. Yeah, I think she wants
okay.
messages from her mom and dad. Yeah, I don't
From
know if you
mom
need
and
their
dad.
names or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Alyssa and Nicholas. Let's
Okay.
start with mom. Well, mom's having one thing I always find true, mom's having a perfectly good time on the other side. I see your mom actually crocheting. I don't know if she crocheted a lot in her life, but I get the feeling she just enjoyed that. Maybe it's literal or figurative, just that kind of, simple movement and working of the hands to create. And that's exactly what I get from mom. She's there and she's just creating and weaving, right? And that's a pleasurable place for her. She enjoys it. So pretty much she's like, hey, whatever happens, don't worry about me. And just like I'm weaving this together, we are always woven together, your mother and daughter. Yeah. Let's go to dad. I get kind of a funny, dry sense of humor from dad, right? I see him maybe working on a car and a big moon behind him. I wonder if your dad was kind of a little bit intuitive along with being, a regular car fixing guy. Again, it seems like he's perfectly happy on the other side, tinkering around with his his new machines, his more advanced machines on the other side. Anything else you wanted to say, Lots? There's a moment where he stops being kind of funny and jokey and he becomes serious and he sends his love to you. I want you to know, both of the parents are saying there's nothing to worry about, literally. And it's true. There literally is nothing to worry about. There's some things that we're going to do, but there's nothing to worry about. And there's no reason, even if you made a mistake in the lifetime, who cares? You'll just figure it out. And, maybe you'll try it again in a different lifetime. It's all working out just fine.
Wow. So she does tell us that their name, her dad's birthday is today. Happy birthday. And I got as Carolyn, and is it her mom's name? She used to fix cars with dad. Isn't that cool? So that's really great. I have 2 cards, and I don't know if this is the influence of what we just talked about or not, but was dad an academic or a teacher? Because those are the 2 cards I got. And it could be that he maybe went to college, but he was a teacher in a different way. Maybe he taught you how to fix the cars. Anyway, I'm getting that he's saying there is no disconnect between you and us. And we may be up here and you're down there, but I'm watching. And one of the things that always seems to come through when I'm talking to them on the other side is, wow, we're on television. Look at this. This is really cool. And so they weren't academics. Okay. But he was a teacher in some way. So they're wanting you to recognize that that you learned well from what he taught you. They're telling you to turn the page and embrace new chapters with curiosity. Maybe they're wanting you to go back to school. I don't know. It's never too late. I went back at 45. It's never too late. I know that number is not popular right now. I'm sorry. Trust that every ending is another beginning. And that's exactly what they said. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
And I'll tell you, I was over 45 when I started this kind of work, right? You can always, I don't care if you're 80, you can always start new things.
No, that's right. That's right. You're absolutely right. Never too late. Never too late. So thank you, Elisa. Yeah. Hi, book. Oh, is there a way that, that would be the most brilliant coup of all, wouldn't it? Is there any way that Joe set up this?
No. Yeah. Let's take a look. Right. So I'll tell you what I'm seeing here. I think that I think he knew way in advance that he was not the, exciting candidate. He was the guy that was going to bring us together. It was almost like ships are rocking. We need a guy who's just going to calm everybody on the boat down and just, no fighting. Let's talk about it later. Kind of. That's but I do think that he really believed in that cause, but I do feel a little bit like he was surprised. I don't think he anticipated that he would be, slowing down a bit. I don't think he saw that coming.
Yeah.
I think he was surprised.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that we saw what happened to him when he came back from being overseas, and he hadn't had enough rest, and then he didn't feel good. And so I think when he realized that his health might be taking a nosedive, and I don't mean necessarily mental health, I mean his health, that, because if you remember correctly, during the 2020, he ran onto the stage and and he still rides a bicycle. He does all of that stuff. But I'm thinking he's thinking to himself, okay, how old am I going to be when this is over? And is this really the best idea for me to spend my glory days, at my aging? I think he didn't want to rush it, though. He wanted to be able to figure it out himself. And he didn't want other people telling him what to do. And I think that's what upset most of us, that people were like bugging him. And we felt that that was unfair, even though he ultimately made the decision, I believe. And I believe he had a dream that told him it's time, Joe. Yeah, I really do. Yeah.
Fascinating. Yeah. We have a lot to thank Joe for. Among them,
do.
4% increase in the American economy. It's stunningly brilliant. But also, what kind of a generous person gives up a position of power for the benefit of all?
Yes.
That's a rare person.
And it is a rare person, and he's probably the only one that would ever do it. Don't you agree? I mean, there isn't a lot of other people that I've ever seen that would be that selfless. So yeah.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
More bands on X. Let's see. You want to go first, or should I?
No, you can go ahead. I got to think about this one.
Okay, good. Well, first of all, it's kind of be more bans on X. And when we say bans, do we mean X banning others, or others banning X? I think that's what they mean. Whether they're going to be other countries, because I know. Brazil just banned X, so I think that's what they must mean. Let's take a look at other countries. Ban X.
Mm-hmm.
Well, interestingly enough, I'm getting a couple of stars and stripes. And when I say that, it's almost like here's the stars and stripes, the flag, but it's almost like one corner. So I think to some degree, something will change in the United States where, I mean, let's face it, these people are saying things that kill people. We are, practically speaking, have to do something about that. So I think to some degree, one reason he's supporting Trump is because we must, as a society, put X under control. Otherwise, it'll be the destruction of the fabric of our nation. So I think so. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about other countries so much. I mean, I don't get a good feeling out of China, but I don't think that they allow X unfettered there either. So, yeah. And the second part is, will there be any charges against Musk? I'm not getting charges. I feel like he's going to go the way that Trump goes to, which is just kind of crazy. He's already crazier than pretty much any rich person I ever met. He seems, it's just like he just goes off in his own world.
Yeah, which he pretty much does anyway, doesn't he? Yeah, so what I get is I get dancing shoes. And so remember when he went into Twitter and I think he got rid of everybody, and he did all this crazy stuff in the very beginning, and so he's tiptoeing around. He's dancing around. But look at this war. There's going to be a war against X, and I think it's already started. And for those of you who I talked about this earlier, I belong to Threads, which is the better X. Let's put it that way. And a lot of people are leaving X. And have been leaving X for a long, long time because they're sick of his shenanigans and they're sick of the way he is. But as far as him getting charged, well, I get a drunken sailor, he's intoxicating. And I'm thinking that perhaps that would be something that wouldn't happen because he's got the money to, That's why the other guy gets away with so much.
Yeah.
Or at least the perception of money. Yeah.
Right. Drunken sailor.
Uh-huh. Definitely. Oh, that's great. Uh-oh.
Level up lady for me to pursue. I'm wondering if doing intuitive work would be best at this time. Okay, well, we're going to tell you it's always a great time to do intuitive work, except when you're really sick, right? If you're sick, you're not going to meditate very well. Yeah, just relax.
Right.
Look, let's just say, one thing about losing that job is that that's how you perceive yourself. You know, I am that job. You're not that job. You're a person who does that job. And there's this weird thing that you're going to go through where you're leaving an old self behind. It's really important you show up just like that tarot card of the Fool. You just show up and like, I don't know anything. I know nothing. I'm not going to let the past define who I am, and just go in. And I really want to encourage you to go to nature and do this. And once there's no chattering around you, it might take a day and a half to listen and hear the universe. And you can do this in your backyard too. Just turn off all the stuff and read a book. But if you can, and I actually see you going to a beautiful natural place that has at some point has some fog. I think it's near water. I would go there and say to the universe, Spirit, I want to guide me. I want to know what to do. And just say that, guide me. And then see how universe shows up for you. Because universe will show up to you and say, I really like doing this. I really like gardening. I really like socializing. And I really like coffee. And those are my values. And that's what I want to do. And I want to do something like that. The universe will respond by telling you what you like to do. And then you can chart your path. If you are interested in spirituality, that's already what you like to do. Read, watch the videos, turn down the stuff that makes you frantic. Turn up what makes you feel interested and positive and moving forward. Watch that, read those books, go to nature, and listen to your inner self. We have all been taught as children. No, you cannot do anything that you like, okay? You're a nurse because you have to be a nurse, not because you love being a nurse. You have to do that.
Right.
We've all been raised that way. One thing about the divine feminine that's happening is that's changed.
It is.
I didn't think I could have a job like this in a million years. I could never have dreamed of doing this kind of job. So you can do it. Just give yourself space and leave worry behind. And if worry shows up, just go, we'll think about that later. Right? Give yourself some time.
Beautiful.
Find what you like.
Yeah. Mythologist Joseph Campbell says, follow your bliss. It will put you right on the path to where you need to go. I see that you were betrayed. Somebody betrayed you in this job you lost. There were some hidden enemies. And I'm sorry. And you probably didn't have your shields up. And who wants to live like that anyway? So this has put you on the path to be on your own stage. And whatever it is that you want, you can do it. So this is a gift for you, level up lady. And you will level up because if you follow your bliss, you're going to be fine. Yeah.
Terrific.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think Deborah's going to come in just a moment to give the giveaway.
You must be psychic, Aley.
Yeah.
Yes, it is that time. So we have, why don't you tell us what your giveaway is, Aley? You can describe it better than I.
Okay, sure. Absolutely. I would be happy to give away 2 30-minute readings, or if you would rather have spiritual counseling and some help determining what your gifts are and how you might be able to find a way to use them, you can choose. It's your choice and it will be on Zoom.
Okay, so the winner is Carmen B and Mayor S. Those are your 2 winners. So congratulations. Right. I'm going to pop that email again. You guys send me an email so that I can get you connected to Aley. Oops.
Yeah.
What happened? Dave went off.
Really, sorry, you guys. I tried to hit the log.
Okay.
I thought do the login. Oh, God.
I've been doing it all night, Dave. So hey, you make me feel better.
Yeah.
Good. You're doing great.
Excellent.
Awesome.
She's amazing. You're amazing. You and Helen and all the others that put this together, Deborah, have done such a great service to us, to us psychics, to the viewers, and also to democracy. So God bless you and thank you for all you've done. And Dave, it was a pleasure to meet you and work with you. Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you again.
Bye, Aley.
Okay, sounds good.